So what could turn Noah Syndergaard back into Thor? Or at least Iron Man? Anthony Davis makes the newer Lakers look pretty damn good. And is the leader of the Kings defense no longer Drew Doughty? Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. It is April 4th, 2023, still in Portland for another couple of days. A little brighter outside, and what makes it even brighter? LA. I'm looking forward to talking this stuff up with you. If you like the content we put out, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means, comment. This is pretty much the only social media I'm going to be looking at for the next couple of days, to be honest. Before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Yesterday, the Dodgers layeth the beat down on Colorado 13-4. Jason Hayward, Chris Taylor, Will Smith, all of them homer. Dodgers are above 500, they're 3-2. Meanwhile, today, got a decent looking schedule. Colorado's going to play the Dodgers again. Julio Urias, 1-0 for the Dodgers, takes the mound. German Marquez, also 1-0 for the Rocks. The Lakers are in Utah. That game is at 6. D'Angelo Russell had left foot soreness. He will probably play tonight, though. And, of course, Edmonton's at the Kings at 7:30. This is a big game for the Kings. The winner of this game will have second place in the Pacific Division. Now, yesterday when we were talking about the Dodgers, we mentioned quite a bit about Noah Syndergaard, okay? To recap, he did have 6 very impressive innings in his season debut, but all spring training long, he couldn't stop talking about how, the Dodgers coaching staff, this was why he came to LA, and they were going to help him recapture all that speed that he lost a couple of years ago when he got injured. He couldn't reclaim it in Anaheim. He couldn't reclaim it in Philadelphia. But the Dodgers coaches, they have the know-how. And then, of course, the hammer of the gods did not exactly show up on Sunday. Oh, he pitched well, but he wasn't exactly Thor. His fastball topped out at 94, and the average of his fastball was 92. There you were. We were all sitting there just waiting to see those heaters that would just go so fast from Thor that it would just leave a baseball-sized hole when it just goes right through Loki's abdomen. Didn't happen. And you're wondering about where is the rest of the Marvel universe? Where's Ant-Man when you need him most? Side topic, I love bringing up Ant-Man because Ant-Man hit on my wife about a decade ago, so that was nice. Anyway, so Dave Roberts said that it is still possible for an uptick in velocity. Day before, Roberts was like, hey, you know what? We're cool with a lack of velocity because we want to see economy of pitches. But Roberts says it's still possible for the uptick. Maybe not 100 miles an hour. Maybe he's not Thor. Maybe he's more like Doctor Strange. Quote, I do think there's going to continue to be an uptick in velocity, but to throw out a number, he kind of backed off that, which I think is good, unquote. Meanwhile, pitching coach Mark Pryor did throw a number out. Quote, is it going to be 100? I don't know. But is it 96, 97? Maybe. Side topic about the Dodgers. The idiot who proposed to his wife on opening night gets a 1-year ban from Dodger Stadium. And honestly, if you jump onto the field, you love attention more than you ever love the Dodgers. So you may as well just get the lifetime ban because that 1 year is not exactly going to be much of a deterrent. I love the Dodgers. I would never jump onto the field to play because of the respect that I actually have. And aside from that, I paid to be entertained. I didn't get paid so I could spend the night in lockup in the Twin Towers downtown. This guy needs a lifetime ban because you know what? I don't need him next year running across the field to serve his wife divorce papers when she's with another man. Straight and simple. Lifetime ban for that moron last week who proposed to his wife on the field at Dodger Stadium. Can I ask you how much you believe in the current direction of the Lakers? They've won 3 in a row. They're definitely on an uptick. I even would go so far as to say that this is the team that virtually everybody in the Western Conference does not want to see in the playoffs. The only 2 teams where I think would be okay with it, Denver, maybe Phoenix, but everybody else in the Western Conference in a short series, a 7-game series, I don't think anybody wants the Lakers right now. But having said that, CBS has put them all the way up to number 10 in the power rankings. What? It's a jump of 6 teams. Everybody right now is getting on the Lakers bandwagon. And it just makes me want to tap the brakes on that little party bus, you know? Now, don't get me wrong. There are definite reasons to like the Lakers. Anthony Davis, in his last 3 games last week, scored a minimum of 38 points. Not the average. That was the ground floor. He was over 40 as well. Now, you know, you got LeBron James, who's talking about the team being a title contender. He's not saying that he's predicting they're going to get a ring, but he thinks that they can quote unquote compete with anybody. Guys, I really do feel optimistic about the Lakers, but let's be real. They're still just 2 games over 500. And as the situation stands right now, they're in the play-in tournament, not the actual playoffs. D'Angelo Russell, we mentioned him earlier about possibly playing tonight, even though his left foot was giving him issues. D'Angelo Russell is averaging a career low 2.3 turnovers a game since he returned to LA. Matter of fact, he's scoring 18 points a game, which is above his career average. Now, how does that happen? Well, glad you asked. It's Anthony Davis. Yeah, the way that the Lakers run their offense, Anthony Davis will run a lot of pick and rolls with D'Angelo Russell. So you're not really looking to make crazy passes when you get to run a pick play around a 7-foot tall guy. You either get an open shot or you just dish it off to somebody who comes on the double team. What that means is, the translation, that's your explanation for the lower turnovers. That's your explanation for the higher points per game. So Anthony Davis is opening up so many options now for the Lakers. The minimum of 38 points per game. The fact that LeBron James is now posting triple doubles on his own because people are now having to respect both either he or Davis. You have to decide, if you're on defense, which one are you going to double team? And then, of course, now getting the legit third scorer that they did not have with Russell Westbrook, they're getting it in D'Angelo Russell. And it's all because Anthony Davis is becoming impossible to stop again. The Athletic listed 10 reasons why the LA Kings have returned to the playoffs. And honestly, most of the reasons that they put down were predictable. You know, the steadier goaltending, we knew that. Kevin Fiala produced dividends, we knew that. So I'm not going to go through all 10 of them, because again, why go through the obvious? But there were a couple of points that caught my eye. One of the reasons that they think the Kings returned is Mikey Anderson grew into a team leader. Do you believe that? I'm not saying they're wrong. Do you believe that? Because their case for saying he's a team leader is he leads the Kings in hits with 160, which, if you remember back in the day, that used to be Dustin Brown's forte. He was always leading the team in hits. Anderson is also second in block shots. So he is now considered an elite defender. And he's only 23, 24. That's why the Kings gave him an 8-year contract. They know how good this guy is as a stay-at-home defenseman. But team leader, are you sure? Is that not still Drew Doughty? I mean, they both play together as the same pairing. Are we just pushing a little bit too much credit away from Doughty and giving it to Mikey Anderson? Just asking. Are you also happy with the progress of the next generation of LA Kings? I think you should definitely be happy with Gabriel Velarde. Velarde scored 23 goals this year. That's terrific. Came out of nowhere to do that. Quinton Byfield, though, honestly, I think we still have to be honest with ourselves and say it's a mixed bag. He's performing well now, but that's because he's on a line with Anze Kopitar, for Pete's sakes. Byfield was supposed to be the next Anze Kopitar, not the understudy. So, kind of iffy on that. We'll have to see how that plays out in about a year or so. You may have noticed I haven't gone into any NFL mock drafts, and you know why? They're all wrong. They really are. You know it, I know it, we all know it. So who are we trying to kid ourselves by trying to guess who the Rams are going to take with their first pick in the second round? That's insane. But here's an idea. Instead of predicting names, who are the Rams talking to? Who are the Rams pulling aside for interviews? Would that not give you an idea as to what their strategy is? Right? So, what I can tell you is they have chosen to meet with about 20 players. They did not interview any safeties. They did not interview any inside linebackers. So theoretically, you could cross those two positions off the list. What they have done, however, is they have interviewed 4 wide receivers, which is a little odd considering their wide receiver room is more or less set. Maybe you don't like Allen Robinson, but I don't see a collegian coming out of the woodwork to take over for Cooper Kupp. It's possible that that could be a later round pick to try to fill in for Allen Robinson. By the way, one of the 4 wide receivers that they interviewed, UCLA's Jake Bobo. They also interviewed 4 defensive linemen, which makes sense because they're going to need somebody to replace both Greg Gaines and A'Shawn Robinson lined up next to Aaron Donald. They also interviewed 3 cornerbacks. Now, if you're wondering about backup quarterback, because after all, once Matthew Stafford went down, the Rams' season was toast. I can tell you that the Rams chatted with one quarterback, Aiden O'Connell of Purdue. Take of that what you will. We already know about the quarterback battle in Westwood, but what about running back for UCLA next season? I mean, we know that it's going to be difficult for any of those quarterbacks, even Dante Moore, to fill the shoes of Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Thompson-Robinson was terrific for the Bruins last year. But wouldn't it be fair to say that Zach Charbonnet was even better? He really was a tremendous running back last year. It wouldn't be surprising at all to see Charbonnet drafted a couple of rounds higher than Thompson-Robinson. So what about running back? You've got Carson Steele, the transfer from Ball State. Good numbers at Ball State and also said to have a similar running style to Charbonnet. But then you could also say, well, wait a second, what if we want to change it up and go to power back style? Somebody who just runs people down. You have Anthony Adkins, a transfer from the military academy in order to do that. Meanwhile, you're looking at 2 people who are already in the program in Keegan Jones and TJ Harden. Jones had a significant number of carries last year when Charbonnet needed a rest. So, yeah, there's a quarterback battle, but it seems like there's a pretty good position battle brewing with the Bruins. And pardon me for that pun. I'm not proud of that one either. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Let me know if you think there's a chance in hell that Noah Syndergaard becomes Thor all over again. Let me know what you think about the Lakers' chances now that they look pretty legit right now. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quian Corte El Queso production. Take care.